Hi, Year 10. On Friday, I'd like you to do expanding brackets, exercise 3C. Some of you have already done it. Thank you very much. I think Lily's done it and somebody else. If you haven't and you're really not sure what to do, can you watch this video? I'm going to go over 5, 6, and 7, and then in another video, I'll try and do some more for those of you who have finished. You really need to know this for your next Rosa task coming up. You'll get that notification in the next few days. So here's the first question. It says 3 brackets x plus 7. Now, if you watch the other video, you may remember from last year, whatever is on the outside of the brackets, you have to multiply that by everything on the inside of the brackets. So if I write this out, I'm going to be going 3 times the x. There's a plus in the middle, so I write down plus. And then I'm going to go 3 times the 7. That's called expanding, okay? So now once I've expanded the brackets, I have to put those answers together. So in algebra, if you remember, 3 times x can be abbreviated by taking the times out and just writing 3x. So that's what I'm going to do. And 3 times 7, you can do on your calculator or in your head. 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, hopefully that one's not too bad. Now this one here. So sometimes you can get a number and a letter on the outside. Now that means you've got to multiply the number and the letter by not only the x inside the brackets, but also the -4. So if I write that out, and this is the working out I suggest to you, I'm going to write the number and letter outside, 3x, and I'm going to multiply it by the first one inside the brackets. That's x. Now in between is a negative. So I'm going to write down a negative in between those terms. Rewrite the first term outside the brackets, the 3x again, and then times 4. Now, if you've written down that negative already, you don't need to write it down again, okay? Once is enough. Right, so let's figure out what that means in terms of brackets now. So 3x times x means 3. Now, if you remember, when we have 2 x's, that means x squared, okay? So we abbreviate that as x squared. Minus, now we've got 3x times 4, so you've got two numbers there, 3 and 4, so we multiply. 3 times 4 is 12, and we've got 1x sitting there, so we write down x. So that's my answer for that one. Hopefully that's okay. Write me a comment if you're not sure. Next one, question 6. So in question 6, the only difference with this one is you're going to have a -5 on the outside, but you're going to do it the same way. You've got to multiply both terms by the -5. Okay, so here we go. -5 times m. I'm going to write that down first. Now I have a plus in between. You can write that down if you want. Doesn't really matter. But I still need to write down the -5 and then times 2. Okay, I can't leave out that negative that's in front of the 5. So let's expand those. So -5 times m. Basically all you do there is squish them together. That means -5m. Now you've got a plus and a minus here together. What you have to remember is a plus and a minus together just means a minus. Okay? So plus and a minus together means a minus. So now you're going to go -5 times 2. And that makes -10. Okay? Watch out. Those negatives can be tricky. All right. Let's try this one. Same sort of thing. You're going to go. Notice I like to use these arrows. You might like to use those arrows as part of your working as well. I'll leave that up to you. Here we go. -3, I multiply that by the first term, which is 2y. Now I have a negative there in between, so I'm going to write that down. Now my 3y at the front, remember it's -3y, so I have to write down another negative. Yes, 2 negatives, don't forget it. And the other term on the inside, I've already written that negative down, so I'm just going to write 9. If you want to just put one negative, the -3y, and then a negative in front of the 9, that's fine as well, okay? Doesn't make any difference. You should get the same answer. So doing these two first, -3y times 2y. So what's -3 times 2? Well, a negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 2 is 6. Y times y is y squared. All right, now this one here. So we have to take into consideration there's 2 negatives. Whether it would have been in front of the 9 or just one in front of the 3 doesn't make any difference. Okay, 2 negatives make, hopefully you remember, a positive. Now we've got 2 numbers there, 3 times 7. 3 7s are 3 9s, I mean, that's why I can't think. 3 9s are 27, miss. Silly woman. And then there's 1y. Okay, so that's your answer for that one. Right, last but not least, let's try these ones. Now, when you get to these ones, you'll notice you've got your brackets, but then you've got a +3. So that's kind of like having a brackets with a bit extra added on, and that's exactly the way you've got to work it out. So the bit extra added on has to stay in front whilst you do the expanding part, okay? So I'm going to do the expanding part. I've just written down the 3 plus so I don't forget to do it later, but I must do the 7 times x plus 7 times 2 first. So I'm going to expand, beg your pardon, I'm going to expand this bit. Sorry, I'm going to multiply them out. I've just expanded them. And 7 times x is 7x. And 7 times 2 is 14. Now I haven't done anything with this yet, so I'm going to tack it back on the front. So now I have 3 plus 7x plus 14. So we need to find like terms. There's only one x on its own there, so that can't be added to the 3 or the 14. 3 and the 14 are numbers on their own without any letters, so that means they are like terms. So let's add them together. 3 plus 14 makes 17. And then I just tack the plus 7x on the end. There's my answer. Right, next one. Here comes one with 2 sets of brackets. Can you guess what you've got to do here? So you basically have to go that set of brackets first. I'm going to do that in red. And then I'm going to do this set of brackets, including the negative, in green so you can see the difference. Okay? All right, let's go back to the red. Here we go. So 4 times 3f is my first working out. Then 4 times 2, I am running out of room, so I just got to write a little bit smaller. Okay, so there we go. 4 times 3f, I've written that down, 4 times 2. I'm just going to work those out first. So let's do 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12f, plus 4 times 2 is 8. All right, so we've done the first set of brackets. Let me get my green pen now. Let's do the second set of brackets. So now here I've got -2 times 6f. And then I've got, rewriting it, -2 times. Now if you want, you can put the plus either here or you can put it over with the 2. It doesn't really make any difference. A plus and a minus, if you remember from earlier, makes a minus anyway. So if you don't need it, you don't need to write it in, okay? Right, so let's let's multiply those out now. So first of all, I have -2 times 6f. 2 times 6 is 12. A negative times a positive is a negative, and there's only just an f, so f goes there. Now these ones over here, a negative times a positive is a negative, and 2 times 2 makes 4. Okay. So now, coming to here, we now have to collect our like terms. I'm going to do that one in blue. So, I have a 12f here. Notice I circle the sign that's in front. So my first thing I have to do is 12f, take away 12f. What's 12 take away 12? 0. So 0 is all that I write for that, or if you like, you can just cross it out. 0f, which equals big fat 0. Okay? All right, next one. I've got +8, take away 4. +8, take away 4 is just +4. And my final answer therefore is just going to be 0 plus 4, which is 4. There you go, Year 10. I'll try and do some more for you very soon.